How's it going? We're going to talk today about 3-pack blisters from Sword and Shield. We're going to look at the data from all of the Sword and Shield 3-pack blisters. We're going to look at the last 6 months. And then we're going to compare that to the retail price of the 3-pack blisters. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. It took a long time to get this data, but after we go through all of these 3-pack blisters, it's going to give us a good idea of which sets to look out for Scarlet and Violet. Part of it is the promos, part of it is the packs, right? The packs are going to ultimately determine which 3-pack blisters are the most sought after. And then after that, I think it's the promo. So before we get into all these 3-pack blisters, here's the context. We got 6 months of data, the January price and the July price. And then we're going to look at the 6 months gain or loss percentage. Then again, the original retail price for all of the Sword and Shield 3-pack blisters were $12.99. Now in Scarlet and Violet, the 3-pack blister retail value from Pokemon Center is $13.99. And then we're going to look at the net gain. So for the net gain, we're going to look at the dollar amount gain from the retail price of $12.99. And we're going to notice that some of these sets, the more popular the set, the more net gain you're going to see on your 3-pack blister investments. And then the second thing is that if a 3-pack blister is cheaper in comparison to another, we got to look at the packs inside too, because maybe the promo is not as popular, but especially we're going to see how these evolutions do have an influence on the 3-pack blisters. So let's go ahead and just jump right on into the data. We're going to start with Sword and Shield. There's two of them, the Galarian Pania and the Morpeko. So for the Morpeko, we see in January, the 3-pack blister was going for $29.61. Now in July, we are seeing sales for $30.96. So the market price is $30.42. So that is a gain of 4.3% in the last 6 months. And then a net gain of $17.97. So if you would have got this 3-pack blister when it was on the Pokemon Center a couple years ago, you could have got it for $12.99. Now it's selling for about $30. Your net gain is $17. So not too bad. It is one of the first sets from Sword and Shield, right? So it's kind of hard to get your hands on those packs. You could still go ahead and buy them on Pokemon or on TCG Player, on eBay. Okay, next we have the Galarian Pania and the 3-pack blister of the Sword and Shield base set. So in January, this 3-pack blister was selling for about $34.20. It's taken a dip lately and it's only selling for $29.13. So that is a loss of 17.4%. Original retail price for this product was $12.99. So if you bought it at $12.99, you would still see a net gain of $16.14. So let's go ahead and jump into Rebel Clash now. Now we have the Duraludon. There's no sales data that I can find on TCG Player. The original retail price again was $12.99. Currently, most of the 3-pack blisters that are available for this product are going for about $45, $42. So that is a gain of 246% and a net gain of $32 and a penny. So $32 gain on a product that it's probably really hard to find. The promo isn't super popular, but now we have a new evolution for Duraludon. And we know Rebel Clash wasn't really printed very often. I think it just had that one print run. And after that, there was no reprints because it wasn't really a popular set. So, interesting to note too, right? If a set isn't printed as much, the 3-pack blisters are going to be more sought after and more expensive because they're more rare to find, right? So, we're talking about Sword and Shield today, but just keep that in mind, all this information for Scarlet and Violet, because Scarlet and Violet is so brand new, and you could probably find some good deals on those 3-pack blisters. All right, next we have the Rebel Clash 3-pack blister featuring the Rayquaza. Again, these first earlier sets from Sword and Shield are sold out from the Pokemon Center, so keep that in mind when a set, you know, whether it's Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, when they get sold out on the Pokemon Center, you seem to for the most part, we see a rise in value on TCG Player and other selling platforms like eBay. So This Rayquaza was selling for $33 in January. In July, there was a sale for $32.70, so market price of $32.55. That is a 1% loss since January in the past 6 months. But comparing that to the original retail value of $12.99, you would still see a net gain of $19.71. So what we're seeing is a big trend in these earlier Sword and Shield sets. The value of these 3-pack blisters are about $20 to $15 to $20 for those earlier Sword and Shield sets. So really important to keep in mind, especially considering Scarlet and Violet right now. We're about halfway through Scarlet and Violet, right? All right. Next, we have finally an Eeveelution. We have the Darkness Ablaze featuring Flareon 3-pack blister. This set was heavily printed, so that kind of has an influence on the price. But Flareon is a very popular Eeveelution, and currently this is sold out on the Pokemon Center. And what's really great about the price right now is we're seeing that in July it's selling for $19.53. That's the market price. And in January it was selling for $21.29. So it has that potential to be selling for $20. Now that is a loss of 8.3%. So if you bought it in January, you lost 8% value on your product. However, from the original retail value of $12.99, you're going to see a net gain of $6.54. And when I looked at the other listings for this product, there's not very many other listings besides listings above $24. So maybe these people who have these products are kind of banking on the fact that, hey, this is an Eeveelution, it's a Flareon, it's a hard set to get your hands on. The more it's being sold on eBay, TCG Player, TikTok, the harder it is going to be find for, people looking to collect Sword and Shield sets. So it looks like they're really banking on that Flareon getting sold at $24. So we're going to see if that happens in the next 6 months when we check back up on these sets. All right, next we have Darkness Ablaze again, the 3-pack blister featuring Eevee this time. It is also sold out on the Pokemon Center. In January, this was selling for $18.44. Now in July, it's selling for $18.93. So that is a 2.7% gain. We see that it lost about $2 in value in the past 6 months, but recently there's been sales around $18. So the market price is $18.93. Now, even though that's a small gain of almost 3%, we can compare that to the original retail value of $12.99. So if you bought it back then, you are seeing a net gain currently of $5.94. And what's really great, everyone, is that once we get further and further away from Sword and Shield, these products are going to be more sought after. They're going to be harder to get. They're going to be more exclusive because they're going to be hard to find. You're going to find them only on the secondary market. So as more sales of these products get sold, we're going to see these values for these 3-pack blisters continue to slowly increase. And right here I have the other listings for this product, and it looks like most of the listings are above $25. I did see a lot of this product on TikTok selling for about, I think it was Chilling Reign was selling for like $14, $15, and I think this Darkness Ablaze with Eevee was about $13 or $14 on TikTok. That was about 3 or 4 months ago, so I'm not sure as of late. But currently it's selling for $18, so not too bad for this Darkness Ablaze promo with Eevee. All right, next we have Vivid Voltage with the Sobble right there crying. And so Vivid Voltage was also another set that was heavily printed right during COVID. And so in January, this product was selling for $17.14. Currently, it's selling for $20.72. That is the market price. And so that's a gain of 21% in the past 6 months. And then if we compare that to the original retail value of $12.99, you're seeing a $7.73 gain. So pretty good. Not a very popular set, but we're going to see when we get into the more popular sets, the potential you have on your investments. So next we have the Vaporeon 3-pack blister, also sold out on Pokemon Center. In January, it was selling for $19.73. In July, it's only selling for $18.94, so that is a 4% loss on your investment. However, if you compare that to the original retail value of $12.99, you're seeing a little net gain of $5.95. So we're going to see how this Vaporeon does in the future. It is an Eeveelution, so it does have that potential to do pretty well as we get further away from Sword and Shield. All right, next we have the Battle Styles Jolteon promo in this 3-pack blister. In January, it was selling for $16.11. Now in July, it's selling for $16.99, so a small increase in value. That is a gain of 5.5%. And if you compare that to the original retail value of $12.99, you are seeing a net gain of $4, which isn't too bad. You know, if you're trying to resell this product, you're going to eat that money in fees. But if you bought a lot of this product, like 10 of them, and you sell it on Facebook Marketplace, you can see $40 in value if you bought it at $12.99. So really great to see. Let's go ahead and see. Oh yeah, so I looked at the other listings, and there's no listings for that $16.99 market price. Now all the listings are $19 and above. So keep that in mind. You know, sometimes you got to check the listings to see how quickly the product is moving and how quickly the market price is shifting for that product. Because now we're seeing we haven't seen confirmed sales in a while at $19, but it looks like if someone wants this product, they're gonna have to be paying $19 because that's the lowest that someone is selling this product on TCG Player. All right, next we have another Battle Styles, this time featuring the Eevee promo in this 3-pack blister. In January, this product was selling for $14.27. Now in July, it's selling for $16.05. So a good $2 increase, that is, and that is a 12.5% gain since January. So doing pretty well. The Eevee doing pretty well in this product, even though it has those Battle Styles packs attached to it. The original retail value was $12.99. So if you bought this product for that price, you're seeing a net gain of $3.06. And what's really cool about Battle Styles is you have some pretty good cards. You have the Empoleon V people are searching for, and you have that Tyranitar V. All right, next. Now this is the only 3-pack blisters I really bought out of Sword and Shield. I bought them about 2 or 3 months ago, and it is the Chilling Reign featuring the Eevee promo. The other one is the Snorlax with Chilling Reign packs, but I went after this Eevee because I knew Eevee was getting pretty popular, and especially those Eeveelutions, and especially after Twilight Masquerade with that Eevee illustration rare, I can only see the popularity of Eevee increasing over time. More and more people are starting to like Eevee, and the OG fans who always liked Eevee now have to, you know, compete with other people in the fan base, you know. But anyways, so I got about 7 of these Chilling Reign 3-pack blisters. I bought them for about $14 on TikTok. So after fees, maybe like $15. So yeah, you always got to keep in mind your entry point. But I love Chilling Reign. I think it's an underrated set in comparison to like Fusion Strike and Lost Origin. So we're going to see over time which sets are going to perform the best. All right, so in January, this Eevee promo 3-pack blister was selling for $18.18. Now in July, it slowly increased to $19.73. So that is an 8.5% gain in the past 6 months. The original retail value for this product was $12.99. So that is a net gain of $6.74 if you bought it for $12.99. All right, next we have the Snorlax promo 3-pack blister. In January, it was selling for $17.68. Now in July, it's selling for $18.10. So that is a small 2.4% gain. However, if you bought this product at the original retail value of $12.99, you would see a net gain of $5.11. Now keep in mind, Twilight Masquerade is a super popular set. That Greninja is very popular and highly sought after. We're going to see how low that Greninja drops. Is it going to drop to 180, 160? We'll see. But there is a Snorlax card, and the only way to get that Snorlax card is actually in that Twilight Masquerade 3-pack blister. And so yeah, it was a card from Japan, and that's how they incorporated it, is in that 3-pack blister. So maybe that Snorlax is going to be a sought after promo. We'll see. But if you look at Sword and Shield, it's doing pretty good. It's selling for about $18. And so that is a net gain of $5.11 if you bought it at $12.99. Now next, we're going to go ahead and let's take a quick break. Let's make sure we're recording because this is a fairly longer video, right? And so If you need more time to watch this video, feel free to check it out later. Add it to your watch later playlist. My name's MJ Hokage, MJ, and yeah, I just like talking about Pokemon and Pokemon products. So continue to tune in, and we'll keep talking about Scarlet and Violet. We'll keep talking about the 3-pack blisters. We'll look at all the products that are coming out. Stellar Crown, I think it's kind of mid. Shrouded Fable, very mid. But I think if they don't get printed heavily, they're going to be highly sought after just because they're not printed very much. I think Twilight Masquerade was an awesome set. And yeah, so anyways, without further ado, let's continue looking at these 3-pack blisters. And so, all right, right here we have the Evolving Skies featuring the Umbreon promo. It's currently sold out on Pokemon Center. This is probably the most sought after and most expensive 3-pack blister out of Sword and Shield, especially with all the Umbreon hype and love for that Umbreon VMAX. So in January, this 3-pack blister was selling for $44.22. Now in July, it's selling for $63.94. So that is a big gain of 45%. So we're going to see in Scarlet and Violet, with this new Eeveelution set that's coming out in December for the Japanese market, we're going to get ours probably in January. It might be a specialty set. It might be a main set. That'll be interesting to see. But now we can see with these Eeveelutions, gosh, like now is the time to probably hop into these Sword and Shield sets with the 3-pack blisters, because this one's pretty expensive right now, but some of the other ones we're going to get into are still really, really cheap. They're still a good entry point to get in on them before. But anyways, all right, so the original retail value on this 3-pack blister was $12.99. So that is a net gain of $50.94. So if you bought it for $12.99, you bought 10 of them for like, let's say $130 before tax. That is a net gain per blister $50. So $50 times 10, that's $500 that you would have made on your initial investment. And that's why I'm saying Scarlet and Violet, really look at those 3-pack blisters. Definitely if it's a sought after set, maybe Temporal Forces, maybe Twilight Masquerade has been those better ones. Perhaps Paldea Evolved with that. I think there's a Growlithe, right, with the Cosmo Hollow. And I like that Arctibax on that on the Paradox Rift 3-pack blister. If they're really cheap, maybe just going ahead and adding those into your portfolio, buying like 4 of them, 5 of them, and really looking for that entry point. Because if we look at these entry points of $12.99, your net gain per blister looks pretty good, especially on those highly sought after sets. All right, next we have the Evolving Skies ICQ. Currently sold out, of course, on the Pokemon Center. In January, was selling for $39.82. Now in July, selling for $51.35. So that is a net gain of 29%. Really, really good. Not as expensive as the Umbreon. You're losing about, in comparison, $10 in value if you bought this one. But it still has those Evolving Skies packs, right? And those are highly sought after, especially now. Loose packs are still selling for $10. Sleeved packs of Evolving Skies are selling for like $18. I went heavy on those a few months ago. But yeah, so if you compare the gains to the original retail price of $12.99, you would have seen a net gain currently of $38.36. So that is pretty good. All right, next, we're going to get into this Fusion Strike Espeon promo. I almost got 10 of these 3-pack blisters a few months ago before it was sold out. I just had a strong feeling it was going to sell out. Fusion Strike booster boxes were sold out on Pokemon Center twice, and I just didn't pull it. I had been investing in other things too at the same time, Evolving Skies and other things, and so I just missed the boat on this one, and this one's performing really, really well. I think it's on track to perform just as well as the Evolving Skies Umbreon, but let's check it out. We have in January, this 3-pack blister with the Espeon was selling for $17.23. Now in July, it's selling for $22.60. So that is a 24% gain. Pretty good for this product. It's gained so much value in the past 6 months. The original retail price was $12.99. That was just like 4 months ago. People were buying this on TCG Player, even though it was still available on Pokemon Center. And I realized that not everyone has access to Pokemon Center in all the different countries, right, around the world. Shout out Australia, New Zealand. You guys got that Pokemon Center set up. But yeah, that would have been a net gain of almost $10. And that's really good. If you would have bought 10 of these 4 months ago when it was still available, and you sold it right now in July, you would have made $10 on each one. So it would have been $100 in profit. So that's pretty good on a 10 blister pack or 10 3-pack blister investment. $100 is really good. All right. Now I actually added the latest sales just to compare. And this thing is selling hot right now. You can see in July, there was 2 sales for $29.99 pretty much. So $30 for this 3-pack blister. And then also even in June, 3 of them sold for $29. So if you bought this for $12.99, you're making about what? That's like $15 in profit. So that's pretty good. Because Fusion Strike has barely sold out just a few months ago on Pokemon Center. So this 3-pack blister is probably going to do really well in the coming months. And right here, I added the other listings, $29. So $30 for this 3-pack blister. Looks like the market price very soon. All right, next we have the little sister or little brother to the Espeon. It's the Fusion Strike 3-pack blister featuring Eevee. So this might be a good one to hop in on. Eevee's super popular, and this isn't too expensive yet. In January, it was selling for $13.91, and this product is actually still available on Pokemon Center, so you can get it for $12.99. So now in July, this product is selling for $16.10, so that is a 15.7% gain since January. And like I said, still available on Pokemon Center. It has the Fusion Strike packs in it. You get 3 of them. They're unweighted. So yeah, if you were to buy some of these right now, 10 of them, you can see a net gain of $3 each. So if you sold all 10, that's $30 in value. And once this product sells out in the Pokemon Center, I can see it doing really well because it still has the Fusion Strike blister packs. And like we saw with the ICQ, it was only $10 less in value. So if this one is selling for $22, and we saw some of the listings for $30 for the Espeon promo, you can see this one selling for $20 very soon once it's sold out on the Pokemon Center because it has the Fusion Strike packs in it. So we'll see what happens with this one in the next 6 months when we check it out in December again. That way we can see a full year of 3-pack blisters from Sword and Shield. All right. And now if we look at the comparison to all the other listings, we have 2 of them for $16, and then the rest for about $28, shipping included, or $15, but you have to pay $15 in shipping. So really interesting. These things are really hard to ship just because you have to keep them very flat. You have to store them very well and make sure they're all nice and flat, that they don't get curved. So all right, next we have the Brilliant Stars Glaceon promo with the 3-pack blister. And these are still available on Pokemon Center. And so it's a really good product, I think, to go after right now. So in January, this product was selling for $15 on TCG Player. Now in July, it's selling for $16.03. So that is a 6% gain right now. So that's really good. In the past 6 months, it's gained 6%. It's still available on the Pokemon Center. So if you were to buy it right now for $12.99, you would see a net gain of $3.04 if you sold it. And I don't think you'd want to sell it now. I think you'd want to wait another year or two and maybe get a $15 net gain for each of these 3-pack blisters if you got the Glaceon. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to getting into. I don't think I'm going to get into Stellar Crown as much. I think I'm going to wait. I also think that the Paradise Dragona set and the Supercharged Breaker set featuring Pikachu and Dragons is going to be a really good set for the TCG and a really good set for us collectors and investors. But that set isn't going to come out for a few months. And so, and it's going to be available for the next year. But what's not going to be available very soon is these 3-pack blisters on Pokemon Center. So that's where I'm headed, I think. before I get into more Scarlet and Violet, because Scarlet and Violet is going to be here for the next 2 years to get into. All right. Then I looked at the other listings. Currently, we saw in July it was selling for $16. However, there's only one more listing for $16, and then you have to pay $7 in shipping. And then the rest of them, you have to. They're set. The people that are trying to sell these blisters are selling it for $25, and they're kind of price matching each other, right? Are they going to sell for $25? Probably not. But once these 3-pack blisters are sold out on Pokemon Center, I could see them selling for at least $20. All right, next we have the Leafeon. Not as expensive as the Glaceon, but still worth getting into, I believe. And you still get the same packs. It's just a different promo. It just depends on if people are more interested in the Glaceon promo or the Leafeon promo, and they both feature a little plant or a little flower. All right. So this 3-pack blister with the Leafeon in January was selling for $15.07. Now in July, it's dropped to $14.79. Not a huge loss. It's a 1.9% loss. If anything, that's better, so you could buy it a little cheaper. And what's great is that it's still available on Pokemon Center for $12.99. So you would see a net gain of $1.80 if you were to turn around and flip and sell. All right, and then I looked at the other listings because I was curious. Same thing, only one more listing for $15, but you have to pay $7 in shipping. And the rest of the listings are for $25. So we're going to see how these 3-pack blisters do. I think Sword and Shield is going to pop off again at the end of the year, because it's really hard to get your hands on the booster boxes for, a good entry point, because those Sword and Shield booster boxes have done really well, especially Astral Radiance. So Astral Radiance, Machamp, you got the Origin Form Dialga, you got the Origin Form Palkia, you have the Misty, and you have other great cards. Really deep set. And so this 3-pack blister featuring the Sylveon is doing really, really well. I think if anything, it's the priority for me would be Astral Radiance 3-pack blister and then Brilliant Stars, because look at the gains on this one. In January, it was only selling for $13.26 on TCG Player, but now in July, it's selling for $17.39. So that is a pretty good gain of 31%, and it's still available on the Pokemon Center for $12.99. So if you were to buy 10 on the Pokemon Center, and you were to sell one, your net gain would be $4.40 right now. If you sold all 10 of those, especially once Astral Radiance 3-pack blisters sell out on Pokemon Center, you could see a net gain of $4.40 right now for each of the blisters, and so you can make $40 on 10 of these 3-pack blisters. So, and gains are gains, right? And then I looked at the listing, same thing. Another listing for $16. There's 22 of them, so that's a pretty good deal once this sells out on Pokemon Center. But the rest of the listings are for $30 and above. You got to look at the shipping, right? Because there's that one for $14, but $14.99 in shipping. So we'll see what's in store for this Astral Radiance Sylveon. I think it's going to be Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, and possibly this Astral Radiance Sylveon, because Lost Origin doesn't have an Eeveelution attached to it. Next, we have the Astral Radiance Eevee promo, and like I said, Lost Origin has 2 3-pack blisters, but none of them feature a promo of an Eeveelution or an Eevee, so that kind of makes it not as desirable in my opinion. All right, and we're gonna get to the Lost Origin 3-pack blisters soon. All right, in January, this Eevee promo with Astral Radiance packs was selling for $11.17. Now in July, there's sales that are around $13, so the market price is $13.76. Not as good as the Sylveon, but not too bad. That's still a gain of 23%, so there's a lot of potential for this Astral Radiance 3-pack blister with the Eevee. The original retail value is $12.99, so you would see a net gain of 77 cents right now if you were to try and sell it. Probably not the thing to do, but interesting. All right, next we're going to get into the Lost Origin. Lost Origin is an incredible set, of course. It has the Giratina, the Aerodactyl, and the Pikachus. So, but the only problem is that it doesn't have a really great promo in it, and you're going to see by the sales we're going to go over in the data. So in January, this 3-pack blister was selling for $12.72. Now in July, it's only selling for $13.74. That is an 8% gain. If you were to buy this for $12.99, you can't buy it for $12.99 anymore. It's sold out, but you would see a net gain of only 75 cents. So what's interesting though is that all the other listings are for $26 and above. So I think, to me, it seems like they're banking on the fact that Lost Origin over time is going to get harder to go after. The bundles are expensive now. The booster box is already $191. And so I think they're just banking on the fact that it has the Lost Origin booster packs. And, you know, eventually this product is going to do well because it has those Lost Origin booster packs. Okay, next we have the Lost Origin featuring the Weevil. It's currently sold out on Pokemon Center, but in January this product was selling for $12.76, which was below retail. Now in July it's selling for $13.11, and so that's only a 2.7% gain. And if you were to buy this for $12.99, the net gain would only be 12 cents. So just like the other one, not very popular. Pokemon featured on it, so not really sought after, even though it has those Lost Origin packs. Now over time, I'm sure those packs will do great, and that 3-pack blister itself will do pretty good. All right, we're almost done here. We got the Silver Tempest Togetic. In January was selling for $12.90. Now in July it's selling for $13.30. So that's only a 3% gain. Silver Tempest, like Lost Origin, had longer print runs and were reprinted more than twice, I believe, or at least 2 times they got reprinted. And so the original retail value on this was $12.99. That's only a net gain of 31 cents. And remember those God packs that were in Silver Tempest. So more of those highly sought after cards were on the market. So very interesting. Next we have the Manaphy. It is sold out on Pokemon Center, not doing too well. In January it was selling for $12.20. Now in July, $12.93. So that's only a gain of 6%. If you bought it at the original retail value of $12.99, you would still have a net loss of 6 cents. So, and that just goes to show, you know, really popular Pokemon don't tend to stand out. If you have a 3-pack blister and the Pokemon isn't really highly desirable or sought after, the 3-pack blister really then depends on the packs that are inside. So my word of advice is that, you know, 3-pack blisters are different. It's a different investment to get into. You have to really take care of them, so that's a con. The storage might be an issue. I have my Chilling Reign ones, all 7, just stacked up in the box that I got it in. And I'm not really trying to open that for, I mean, at least a couple years. I'll probably keep one of them, but the rest of them I do plan on selling. So if I were to do a list, I would do Evolving Skies is kind of too expensive. Fusion Strike you can still get into at $20 with that Espeon, or $12 with the Eevee promo. And then after that, I would go after the Astral Radiance 3-pack blister with the Sylveon, because that one's selling for $17 on TCG Player, when you can still get it for $12.99 on the Pokemon Center. And then after that, I would get into perhaps the Chilling Reign featuring the Eevee promo. Right now it's selling for $18. That's still under $20 if you're looking to invest. The Fusion Strike Espeon is at $20, so if you really want to bank on Fusion Strike and the Fusion Strike packs, which I think is a good move as well, because Fusion Strike is really popular, I would say go over Fusion Strike next with Chilling Reign, depending on which packs you like the most and which one you do, which booster box you think will do better, Chilling Reign or Fusion Strike over time. My money is on Fusion Strike, even though I like Chilling Reign more. But yeah, I would say Astral Radiance and Brilliant Stars are really good 3-pack blisters to get into, because you can still get them on Pokemon Center for $12.99, and each of those have Eeveelutions featured in them. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.